Proceed as requested to the localizer.
See what kind of skid shoe braking action we got there, man. All right, carb heat's full on. Warm enough now?
Yeah.
You okay?
I'm good there.
I'd say we got more heat if you need it.
If you want to turn it up more, it's up to you.
I think I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I'm sitting over with a coat, long underwear on, freezing to death, and you're over there in shorts sweating. There's something wrong about this picture, man. All right, going to make your base turn. Go to work, you need to work in Alaska or something, man. If you can tolerate being out on a 26-degree day in shorts. I need to go to work like Miami. I get cold when the sun's out, man. Alright. And I'd slow down just a little bit. And we'll enter closer to about 70 or so. Alright, whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1, and then down with a collective.
Roll back up with
pedal, right.
Roll back up with a collective.
Stick a little bit more up.
RPMs look good, airspeed looks good.
That's good.
Alright, now looking out the window. I'll start a flare about here. There you go. Let's kind of hold that. Up real slow with the collective. Left pedal. There you go.
And
good.
Don't get too slow.
Just keep your nose down to keep a little bit of forward airspeed. You don't have that loss of tail rotor effect in the stand.
Alright.
Cool.
So that's what that is whenever you're...
Well, that's what happened back there. That last one we did where the nose came around and yawed real quick to the right. We were almost to zero airspeed with a lot of collective pulled in, so we're making a lot of torque, you know, and got that crosswind coming right at the tail rotor. You'll get a loss of tail rotor affecting this, and with that much torque pulled in, it'll really wants to come right, you know. So, anyway, if you keep that's right. If you keep your nose down and keep your speed up to just above ETL, your risk of tail rotor effectiveness is minimal. A loss of tail rotor effectiveness is minimal.
If you do lose it, and you just put your nose
you lose
down
it, pull into, push it, get more into the left pedal. Get your nose down too, because that forward airspeed is going to help you have more tail rotor authority.
All right. So. Starter Tower, helicopter 2 and 1 Tango Bravo's midfield right downwind for runway 10.
So when you have a direct left crosswind, I'll let him answer.
2 on 1 Tango Bravo, clear for the option, 10.
Clear for the option, runway 10, Tango Bravo.
So when you have a direct left crosswind coming right at the tail rotor, that's the same aerodynamic phenomenon as settling with power. If you took settling with power where you're going super slow and at a significant descent, you get big vortices form on the rotor, it kills off the lift and they're sinking. We'll turn that whole phenomenon on its side now. Our tail rotor is pushing the air out that way. We have a crosswind coming straight at it. You get again the same aerodynamic phenomena. It's what has the same name. Settling with power, the official name is main rotor vortex ring state. Tail rotor loss of tail rotor effectiveness is tail rotor vortex ring state. They're called exactly the same thing because it's exactly the same phenomenon that's occurring. It's just in 2 different planes. It's just in 2 different planes. It's going down for the main rotor, sideways for the tail rotor. But aerodynamically, the same thing is happening on both of those. So how do you keep from getting into settling with power? Yeah, if you kept your speed above ETL, you're not going to get into settling with power. How do you keep from having a loss of tail rotor effectiveness? Keep your speed above ETL, and you're not going to have a loss of tail rotor effectiveness. So.
Oh, it's slower.
And you can slow down just a little bit.
3, 2, 1.
Roll back up. There you go.
A little slow.
Now just hold your nose about like that. Not about like that.
Alright.
If you come in a little bit fast, that's okay. If you're at 75, even 80 is okay. All we'll do is float farther at the bottom. Like I say, you only really get in trouble if you get too dang slow. Alright, keep her coming down just like you got it. I'll start a little flare. Flare into it. Up on the collective, nice and slow. Pedal.
Yeah, a little too much left pedaling.
Alright, now down a little bit with the nose to keep a little bit of forward airspeed. There you go. And come off that left pedal a little bit now. There you go.
Tower, helicopter 2 and 1 Tango Bravo's midfield right downwind for runway 10.
1 Tango Bravo, clear for the option, 10.
Clear for the option, runway 10, Tango Bravo.
Yeah, where Kobe Bryant, where they went down there at Calabasas, there's, you know, about 3 years ago, I guess it was, I picked up a helicopter at Camarillo. That's where they were trying to get to, Camarillo, California. And when I came out of Camarillo, it was kind of the same way. It wasn't quite as, you know, it wasn't as, the ceilings weren't as low as when they crashed, but I didn't want to go down the 101 and try to get through there. So I just went down, I went straight south out of Camarillo, transitioned through Point Magoo's airspace. There's a naval air station there named Point Magoo, and you just transition through their airspace and pick up the shoreline, come all the way around. I did the shoreline transition by LAX, popped in Torrance there and got some fuel, and then continued on to Missouri. Kind of interesting, the aircraft I had didn't even have a GPS in it, but I've done the trip so much I don't need a GPS to go to California to back to here.
Wish I could say the same. I've never actually been to the west. I've been to Colorado.
So we're in Torrance. You know, we sell a new aircraft, we go pick it up at Torrance and fly it back to here, you know, so. Yeah, we got out there and go to pick up the aircraft. I'm like, a guy named Terry Browning bought the aircraft, and he wanted somebody, he didn't quite have his license yet, so I flew out there and picked it up. He went along with me on the trip coming back, but I'm like, Terry, this doesn't even have a GPS. Which was not a big problem, really. All right, ready when you are, man.
3, 8, 1.
All right, all the way down. All right, roll the throttle back up a little bit.
A little bit faster.
All right, so down just a little bit with the collective. Right there. Now just kind of wait on it. Yeah, check down a teeny bit more on the collective. Right there. There you go. That looks good. Speed's okay. It's a little fast, but that's okay. All you're going to notice is it's going to float more at the bottom. Looking at the window,